All right, so are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
You
ready.
sure?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so welcome to the Work in Process podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today on this episode. With me in the recording space, I have one of the greatest of all time, very vast young man, very deep young man, man of wisdom, really amazing guy. He's already smiling. He knows that I'm not doing justice to the description I'm giving him. He's more than that. Um, ACF space. That's what I would like to address him as, even though that's not his real name, but that's what everybody all around the world, that's what they
Yeah,
know him
yeah,
as.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, ACF space. You're welcome to the Work in Process podcast.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah.
So with me in this recording space, also I have two amazing young men. They can be giving their one or two. So if you hear their voices in the background, just know that some wise guys are also around us. you know, enjoying the conversation. It makes so much sense and it's so much. Um, it's fun actually. Having people around in the recording space and just enjoying ourselves. So ACF space.
Yeah.
First question: Who is ACF space?
ACF Space is not a person. ACF Space is an organization. It's not a person. So that's where everything, like, people got it all wrong from there. Because I'm the one managing the Instagram account. So people think it's a
So I'm
person.
the person. I'm one of the first people that got it wrong.
Yeah. All right. ACF Space. The story of ACF Space actually is 1 year. I think it's more than a year right now. You've using ACF all around for like
Yeah, ACF
a
space.
year. Yeah.
His name has been everywhere. The guy, on every.
So I didn't announce it. I was just like putting ACF. Then it was just ACF. Then ACF Space came. What should I say? I think it's my journal. I don't know. I think September. I don't know. ACF Space came in September. The story was just kind of weird, but to just describe ACF Space, ACF Space is a commercial real estate agency that provide productive spaces for people.
A commercial real estate agency that provides productive spaces for people.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
just ACF. That's what ACF Space is about. But there are other branches of ACF Space. There's ACF
Okay.
Words and everything.
ACF
But
word.
there are different things under
But
it.
people know you mostly for your like ACF words, right? Like compared to the commercial side of
Yeah, no. Like the page ACF Space.
on
The story,
Instagram.
yeah.
So guys, if you are hearing, go and check ACF space on Instagram. The guy will blow your mind.
The story is like this. Like my guys, some of my people know about it. I wanted to like create a page. Then about transportation, it's a crazy story. Like, then I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
we're ready for the story."
transportation engineer. I want to know more about aeronautics, planes, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I discovered that there's some things that we just like, but we're not really good at it. We just like I like airplanes. I like to be on the plane. I like flying and so that, but we're not really good at it. So all right, so I created ACF. I think no. Okay, I was first like searching about planes, seeing the way they were made, blah blah blah. But I was not this kind of physics person and geography
like
person. So
aerodynamics.
I had to be real to myself. Do you know, I nurtured this desire for like I nurtured it for like 2 years.
Wow.
Like not a desire of like I want to go into the aeronautics space. Like, but I knew I was lying to myself. Like, bro, you're lying. Like, you know you're not good in this thing. You know,
You just the thing is interesting. You're feeling it.
So I knew I was lying to myself. Like, aeronautics, but I just told myself that okay, I just be very real. But I never discovered like I was never real until I actually put something out. I was like, all right, okay, I've been saying I've been saying plain for a lot of time. All right, now let me even put something out and see how long I can sustain it.
Yeah.
So I went. Then I was in my school cafeteria. Then I was using the internet.
So
then. I just
wanted to put
spontaneously.
something
Yes,
out.
I wanted to see how far I could go.
Yeah.
Like that was the major aim. See
Yeah.
how far I could go on posting transportation content. The fact that it was while I was putting like, even in the middle of asphalt, that road, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about transportation, but I just liked it. Like seeing the road, seeing the.
So you because of your liking for transportation, aeronautics, and all, so you felt like let me just be posting their content while I look for a way to get access to like working in the industry.
Yeah. So I went to the CAF, like I said. So I typed ACF. I typed ACF alone. Then it was just ACF. Then the story of ACF Zoom before that time. The story of ACF was me having a conversation with my mom. Then she was like, there was a transportation, blah blah blah, that my dad could not. Then he was not giving the visa, and I was like, I don't know why. I don't know something that led to that. I mean, I was just hearing it as per okay, they didn't give him visa. It was very long, very long. So I was like, why can't everyone travel? Like, why can't everyone fly? Why can't everyone be on the plane? Like, when you be when in Nigeria, when you're on the plane, that like it's like all your haters have like they've lost. Like now you're successful.
Like what someone was telling us yesterday, that a particular friend of his traveled to Canada and inside the plane he made a tweet that I can see all of his debt from here. Like I can see all of his debt from here. So he posted himself inside the plane, then telling his friends that are still left in Nigeria that I can see all of his debt from here, or something like that. Like all of you are dirty from up here. Yeah, all of you are dirty from up here. So it's still like a big achievement.
Yes. Even as at now, anybody that is on a plane, even though it's local, you just feel so successful. You feel so elegant. Like I'm on a plane. You feel successful. You feel accomplished. Like, but a regular white child, plane is nothing to them. So like, why can't everyone travel? So that's why I came with ACS, meaning anyone can fly. So when you get ACF, let's disperse the different story of its own.
Okay,
ACF. Means
because right here, I'm looking at your logo and I'm just seeing only ACF. So I'm like, okay, it's actually ACF.
The reason why I didn't put the logo as ACFspace is that it's just like Meta. Like Meta, but Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
So I know I'm a very vast thinker, so I don't want to be more. I don't want to be.
You don't want to limit.
Yes, limit. See, I know my gifts, I know my calling, I know my talent. So I know the area I'm going to focus on. But like the book, Think Again.
Sure.
Adam Grant.
Yeah.
I still want to read that book, but I've not even read on that book. But rethinking. But rethinking doesn't mean you go out of your purpose.
Yeah.
So that's why I put ACF. Anything can be joined to that ACF.
Can enter the ACF.
That's why I put ACF as the logo. So that was major. It's just like Meta.
Okay.
That's like it's like everything is under Meta.
Wow.
So that's what ACF. Yeah.
Wow.
So when I was like, have I ever seen a company that is 3 words? Like, is that 3 words or 4 words? I don't even know. Anyone can fly. I don't even know. And I was like, this is too long. But I was like, when you become famous, everybody will like the name.
Yeah, it actually makes so much sense. ACF, anybody can fly.
Yeah.
Anyone can fly. So
anyone
it actually
can fly.
makes so much sense because even the logo, looking at it here, is actually simple.
Yeah.
And one thing I like about your post on Instagram is how simple they are.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphics, so to say, like how simple everything is.
Yeah.
We can just see the code,
Yeah.
go directly to the point, no too much story around it and all. It's really amazing. Really amazing.
No, that simplicity came from one of, I don't want to say this guy's Instagram page to promote anything right here, but it came from somebody.
Okay.
His page is one of the most simplest pages I've ever seen, like in space of like the lighting and everything, like and that's one thing about productivity. Once your space is very simple, it's easier to do more things because you can think better.
Yeah.
So I want someone to just come into ACF and pick what you want. Just scroll through and pick what you want.
Yeah.
That's why everything is given an hashtag. Once you want to look for the hashtag habit, hashtag this, you see all the hashtag there. They are all there.
Okay.
So you can easily pick whatever you want. So that's why it's so simple. I didn't put any code under them. Hashtag. Sometimes just even one hashtag. Sometimes 3, sometimes 3, 4 hashtag and whatever.
Yeah.
So that was why I gave the name ACF. Anyone can fly.
Wow.
So
that was
Fast forward to my transportation history. Now back to when I got the name ACFspace. So I was in the CAF looking for a name for my Instagram page where it's like a community where people give ideas on how transportation can be improved. Remember I said I just liked transportation, flying, traveling on the sea, even though I'm not going on the sea, but so that was like what ACF was about. So I typed ACF and I saw that other people have used the name, like someone have used the name. So,
but not in the context of anyone can fly.
Yeah, but I wanted it to be ACF to be the name, not anyone can fly. I feel like it's too long.
Yeah,
so I wanted not just people to type the name. Like for instance, now go to Instagram, type ACFspace. I'm the only one on. Like you won't stress. Just type ACFspace. That's the only page you see.
Yeah,
I wanted simplicity, something that was very simple. So I typed ACF and I saw that other people haven't used the name there. ACF underscore ACF blah blah blah. Like, how do people know what Instagram is just
You basically will find everything and anything on Instagram. Every and anything, it is Instagram.
so something that came to my door, right? Since I said it's like a community for transportation ideas.
Yeah.
And I said ACF group. I typed ACF group. It has been picked.
Wow.
ACF group. So even then, before I typed ACF group, in my locker, which I snap this thing, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I write things that I would do next. If you check my as now in my locker in school, you will see a sticky note on cross. Like I make this kind of chart for if I do this every day, I cross something. Every day I cross something. So
Yeah.
my mate will be asking me like, "What is this?" And I say, "You don't need to know." Because that's him. I don't want everybody to understand it. So I make it so complex. And I be like, this guy just wrote gratitude. What is gratitude? Like to me, it meant something else. It's not even gratitude. So now I can just write like I can write somebody's name. For instance, for some time I put this guy, Onkojo, Emmanuel, one fintech startup, Onjoku Emmanuel. Yeah, I just put it on my wall. Like, what's it? I said, check the internet for Onjoku Emmanuel. Because the story was, I was marveled by the guy's story. So I just said, let me just put the guy name on my wall. So that anytime I look at it, I can say, okay, Onjoku Emmanuel. So if Onjoku can do it, I can do it. So that was what I did. I wrote ACF group on my locker. Then I typed ACF group. I saw it was picked. So I don't know. I felt it was the Holy Spirit. I don't know. Just said, okay, put space. And I said ACF space. So all right, going on, I was posting. Thank God I have a screenshot of ACF space based on transportation. As I then, like, I was posting transportation content, but I found it was so hard for me to post. Like, what next? What next?
What's the biggest innovation?
What do I mean about plane? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just even know that the plane fuel, the fuel, or is it diesel they use for plane or fuel? Or I think kerosene. Yeah, kerosene. The kerosene is stored in the wings. I just found that out. Someone that wants to do transportation, we just found out that the kerosene is stored in the wings of the plane to balance the weight of the plane. So I said, I don't think this is for me. So I battled. I think posting. I had just 8 posts
on transportation.
Yes. Then I stopped for like 2 months.
Wow.
You can't find it there, but I made it as a record. It's on my iPad. Like I had to screenshot like, wow, I had to screenshot this my failure. Like this is a failure to me. So that held my mind. Like that was the first time of me, apart from academic failure, like this was like failure to me. Like somebody now, one of my roommates, if he's hearing this, I will say it because he will see me in the future and he'll be like, he was like, nigga, you don't give up. And he posted it, he wrote that thing directly to ACFspace, not to me. So I thought I was like, all right. This guy is already, this guy is challenging me. He's already going far. So I can remember we had SWEP, that's engineering program that we do before coming. So there was this guy. He was going through a lot, like depression and stuff like that. So I was trying to get that. All right, I want to create an Instagram page that we address those things because I discovered that God has given me this ability to speak to people and convince people, even though it didn't really, it was not something new.
Yeah.
Like I said something this guy said, but then he was like, because you said it. So I told the guy, I was like, I'll create the page. So we got home, then we used some weeks. Then this guy reminded me, it was like, what of that thing you said that you said you will make? And that page I said you will create. So I was like, oh,
that was the depressed guy that you met.
No, the
Okay.
the depressed guy.
But he's no more depressed. So
Yeah,
now
now he's all right. It's all right. And I can say thank you to him. Like he helped me, even though it was his shortcoming that helped me. Like it was like a story to tell. Like a depressed person made me to start posting.
Yeah.
So since he told me that, I said, look at your Instagram page. You've not posted for like 2 months, and you call yourself ACFspace for transportation. And I said, I'm done. Deleted everything on the ACFspace, not the whole 8 post.
Yeah.
I said, nobody must see this failure. I deleted everything, but I kept it as a record. I screenshot before I deleted everything. When I did everything, I said, I want to start making short videos. Like no face videos,
Yeah,
but just
yeah.
my voice.
Yeah.
So it will be addressing things on productivity, things on
Yeah, I actually viewed some of
purpose,
your videos, very nice stuff.
things on legacy,
Mm-hmm,
things
mm-hmm.
on various things. So I
Yeah,
did a couple of them, like
yeah,
eight.
yeah. I noticed you even stopped. Kind of.
Yeah. I stopped because I saw that they were not sustainable. Like I'm doing a course that requires all of my time.
Mm,
So I was like, how can I channel my thoughts into writings?
mm.
I don't have to always say it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how can I
Because
channel
writing
them
is actually more,
more
and
easier?
that reminds me. Let me just share this in just like to say something about how I started my newsletter. That was actually what happened because I was actually being yes, I was moved from a particular office to another office while I was serving at Bowen University.
Yeah.
So that space that they moved me into, I couldn't record anything there any longer. But before then, I had this feeling to start a newsletter just for fun, like as an extension to the podcast. I felt like this one will just keep me in touch with people that are really interested in hearing more from me because I can't
Yeah.
always have something to say and say something every time. So that was why I actually just continued the newsletter because I felt like I can't really, because of where I am, the certainty of having time to record is not there. But writing to me was like it was easy access. I don't if you like be making noise where I am, if you like don't be making noise, if you like uh if there is a recording space, fine. If there is no recording space, fine. I can always get my device, write something I'm interested in, what I'm learning about, and then make a post about it. So that played out in my own journey also. So you can fire on.
Yeah, and this boils down to one of the quotes that you told me earlier on, that we can only change direction when we are in motion. I've not heard that quote before I started doing this thing, but I
Yeah.
thought that the more I kept posting, like there was a time that if you were following me very well, you notice that I was posting every day, and people were like, is this guy checking the code from the internet or something? That people think, but I feel like I was telling somebody, I was like, every day has a story to tell. Like there's something in every day that's so unique. For instance, now today there's something unique in this
That
whole
happened today.
podcasting stuff.
Yeah.
Even earlier on the
Like
Christmas.
imagine I started the podcast early this year, and now it's something everybody wants to be on, and everybody's coming saying, "Please put me on your podcast." Someone was more afraid. I was telling you now. I literally, we are not being recorded. Like nobody can see our faces, right?
Yeah.
And I told the lady, I said, "Please come on my podcast." You asked me a question that was so nice, and I feel my audience needs to hear this. The lady was super shy to even speak to a mic. I told you about that. She was shy to speak into a mic. So I was not like, oh, so you think this podcast is already like worldwide? Like if you say anything wrong or something, people will look for you, find you, and criticize you. So there's a unique story in every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a very unique story, and I discovered that one of the top 1%, they are very good storytellers.
Yeah.
Very good storytellers.
Yeah.
And I'm saying storytelling is not just in what you see. Storytelling is in your actions. For instance, let's look at Apple. Apple has been telling a story from way back. When we hear Apple, we hear processing, we hear cameras, it is passing an information across. But how do you know a company that cannot be sustainable? Can I mention the company?
No, no.
All right, so this company, all what they do is that they look at what other companies have done, and they create like what they've done. That shows how
That shows how unsustainable they will be.
How unsustainable they can be. Very unsustainable.
Yeah.
And good storytellers are people that can keep everybody engaged. For instance, now I know that majority of people will hear this podcast. Why? It's my story. People want to hear story.
Yeah.
People like story a lot story. People don't want to jot down points. They want stories, and that's why stories stick longer in our head. Like once someone tells something like a story, it stick longer in your head. So fast forward, okay. Then I started posting write-ups, short write-ups. So
Okay.
short. So I did that for quite some time. But do you know my major aim of posting those write-up is like that what like the coach said, moving. For no reason. Like my major aim for that, all these people like maybe it's to monetize. Do you know my major aim is that in the next 5 years I can look back and say I said this. That was the reason. Like that was the reason because Instagram will keep it for me. Some of those things are not on my device. I deleted them. For instance, now this podcast, this story I'm telling you. Do you know what I'm telling you? Because it can't be lost. People will tell this story later. So all these platforms help you keep and document your life. If you can't write them down, these things help you keep your life. That's why I'm telling you a lot of details now that you need to keep like take note of. Because if I lose my journal, if I lose my notes, I will come back to this. You understand? So that's why I'm trying to break everything down.
Yeah,
Possible.
okay. I'm actually enjoying your story,
Yeah.
and I want us to like be slow a bit. You understand?
Yeah.
Because even as we are in this space now,
Yeah.
this is one of the challenges I face. Trying to record the podcast. People
Yeah.
are like knocking the door.
Yeah.
Okay, who is inside? Want to get in? And I'm like, yo, bro, we are busy inside. So I really want to be present. I'm
Yeah.
not really concerned about the distraction. You made mention of the fact that you just wanted to document your process. Like that's what kept you going. Like it
Yeah.
was not like, oh, I want to become this influential content creator
At
and
all.
stuff like that.
No.
Now, most people are not like that. But how do you undo that side of ACFspace and then the commercial side of ACFspace that wants to make money? Because you made mention that ACFspace is a commercial,
Yeah.
professional, productive space,
Yeah.
something.
The commercial real estate agency
Commercial
that provide productive space for people to grow and learn.
Commercial real estate agency that provides productive space
For people to grow and learn.
and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, how do you blend these two together?
All right.
The side of you that wants to document your process, and
Yeah.
then the side of you that wants to make or build an organization. Let me put it like that.
All right. That's a very good question. So I'm still going to refer back to that quote. It's only when you're emotion that you can change direction. So I've been doing some researches and some jotting on paper. So one of the major things I want to do next year is now make ACFspace actually ACFspace. So right now the funds and everything to make it physical is not there.
Yeah.
So I want to bring this Instagram social space.
Okay. Before
Where-
translating it
yeah.
into the
Yeah.
physical.
So the aim, I'm like killing two birds with one stone. I'm keeping record of whatever I've said, and I'm trying to keep the page alive. That's because I could put these things on my regular Instagram thing, but
Yeah.
no, my regular Instagram account, nothing is there.
regular.
Nothing is there because I don't want people to be asking me questions. I want to start moving before anybody even.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is that as days move on, I want to start giving people like just to make the account more relevant and more productive. And because ACSP is actually a real estate agency, but the reason why I've not really started the real estate
part
is funds and investors and stuff and all those things, and it's based on academics and everything. So what I'm doing is that I'm building my base. So if I tell this investor I'm doing this, I'm doing that, they can refer back to that page and they check the years that page I've used and to be active.
Yeah.
You know that people check, that's consistency.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy has actually been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I can give them the story behind what I was posting. So you can see the change in the post. For instance, short videos change to right
Yeah.
up. I'm sure next year you say a different thing.
Yeah.
To be a different line.
Yeah,
of
and I think that was happened to even like me starting a podcast.
All right.
Started 9 minutes, 10 minutes, releasing
Yeah.
short episode.
Yeah.
Then I said, all right, season 1 is done. Let's do season 2. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be interviewing people now.
Yeah.
Let me hear what people are saying.
Yeah.
I know some people will be like, oh, I enjoyed 9 minutes.
yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people literally messaged me and they were like, yeah, bro, increase the time. This thing is too short now. What are you doing? But I'm like, well, I'm still trying to just experiment some things. But
Yeah.
I was in motion and it was very easy for me to change direction.
Yeah.
So when I started recording also like interview, podcast, something,
Yeah.
distractions here and there, I felt like, okay, this is the challenge of this kind of style now. Because if I was doing a solo episode, in 9 minutes I would have been done.
Yeah.
You understand? But I'm interviewing people. I can't be done in 9 minutes. I have to do things like 15 minutes, 16
Yeah.
minutes, sometimes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And sometimes again, because of the nature of the style that I'm implementing, which is unedited, we're just talking, having a conversation,
Yeah.
it can be somehow to some people. But that didn't hinder me. I'm just doing it because I know there'll be a time whereby, all right, currently now on my laptop, I have a software whereby, we can edit podcasts. Like it will be like the OG podcast kind of thing. You get
Yeah.
so, but I'm like, let me just keep going. Let me be consistent. Let me see how far I can, pull this, and then only God knows what it's done to.
Yeah, that is the very truth. That see, I don't know why I'm doing some things. I'm just doing it because I know that it is easier to change direction in motion. That's the very. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Even though what you are doing is nonsense, just keep moving. So I know my goal, my long-term goal, but I'm not ignoring now. Now I'm a boy that is looking for help for people. So that is now. And because of now, I can't say I want to be a packed car. I can't say I just want to be static. So that's why I keep on doing that post.
You can't steal from the future because of
who
the
knows
present.
what ACFspace will be. It might not be what I've said again. Because that's the space of an open mind. What I've said today, it might not be exactly what I've said that ACF turned out to be. That is the space of that's the place of keeping an open mind. Like just be open, just be open, just be open, just be open. But I know the area where I'm from. Like I know my specialty. I know what I'm meant to be doing. So yes, my niche here. So anything ACFspace will turn out to be will be in that niche.
Yeah.
It will be in that niche.
Wow.
So that was why I did those posts. Then I know for sure those posts will change to evolve. There'll be new posts are coming up. Those not those type of posts. New posts are coming. So now I want to make it more engaging. So where you can be scrolling through your Instagram and you meet one of ACF's posts and it helps you get productive the day. Like you just see one of the write-up or somebody that accomplished something. I mean, let me just
instead of just a regular post.
Yeah. So that's we just want to create, ACFspace is meant to be a physical space, but now because we can afford the social space, why don't I make use of my social space?
Wow. Okay, so with the way this guy has already described ACFspace, I think it's such a privilege and such an honor to have, the CEO of a real estate, a commercial real estate agency, talking to me on the podcast. It's really amazing, really nice. Actually, I'm one of the followers of ACFspace on Instagram, and so good to hear your story. I know your story will still evolve because you still have a lot of story. But I can see passion, I can see work. Because when you describe ACFspace, say it for the third time, a commercial real estate agency
that provide productive spaces for self-improvement and development.
Bro. So ACFspace is actually a real, like if you only ask us what is ACFspace, you have a real definition for it. Thank you so much for coming on the Working Process podcast.
Thank you very much.
We spent about 27 minutes just describing what ACFspace is. That's passion. All right, let's do like this. I saw one of your quotes on Instagram. That was yesterday, even though I informed you prior that we were going to be on the podcast. And I saw the quote and I asked you immediately, what's the meaning of this quote? Because I didn't understand it. And I was thinking that, okay, if I don't understand it, but at least there'll be 1 or 2 or 3 people like me who don't understand the quote. Then you explained it to me. Then I looked at the quote and I was like, oh, then it made so much sense. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give you the opportunity on this podcast on, using this platform to try to explain the meaning of that quote to some of your
thank you very much.
people. So I'll read it again. So he said, you only fail if you have done it and it didn't work. I'll come again. You only fail if you have done it and it didn't work. I know now, the way I read it out, it makes so much sense to me. I'm not feeling like, why didn't I see this yesterday? But I didn't understand this yesterday. So I want you to explain that quote. You only fail if you have done it and it didn't work.
All right.
I don't understand.
All right. There are many other quotes that I've posted and I'm like, it's true. If I actually just read this plain, I don't know what this means. But if I said it with my
if you're talking about
it will make more sense. All right. So we only fail if we've done it and it didn't work. All right. If you should check the definition of failure is doing. Failure is what didn't work, what is getting something wrong. So people say you fail when you've not started. But I just feel that is just, I won't say that's fail. You lost. Like you just lost the game.
So loss is different from failure.
Yes. You lose something and you fail is a different thing. So when you've not started, you didn't fail, but you've just lost. Loss is worse than failure. you've lost the game. Like no, there's a point where you can't take on me.
Loss is
then
worse than failure.
it's worse than failure.
Wow.
It's worse than failure. It's worse than failure because it's you don't have another chance. But failure gives another chance. So when you've not done something, you've lost, you've not failed. So meaning, like when you can't take on somebody and you're like, all right, what they call that stuff? When you can't, like, you want to shot, like, I'm giving you the winning this thing. Like, I want to give you, like, you've won. They call that thing something like forfeit. Okay, we are forfeiting the match. So that means by default,
you're giving,
like you are the winner already by default. So that's what that is the meaning of not starting. Like you've lost by default. But failure is doing. So I said we fail when we've done something and didn't work. Because sometimes I just realized I don't even know how I actually put it again. So
yeah, you fail if you've done it and it didn't work.
Yeah. So I feel the word fail has sounded so negative in our ear. So that's why that quote sounds so negative and so bad.
No, like when I saw it yesterday, I was like, so shouldn't we not do anything again?
It sounds so negative.
Like, I was like, what should we? I mean, Divine, am I right? Like, if we are going to fail, they don't let us do it again.
Yeah. Because if you don't do it, you didn't fail, you lost. So you have no chance. Failure gives you a chance to learn. But losing doesn't give you a chance to learn.
Woo!
So
the way ACF, let me cut ACFspace short here for now. This is one of the first people I'll bring on the podcast that is talking as if he's talking to me, like directly, like like he's just the mic is just going like like he's just doing his hand, gesturizing, and you can see the passion. You understand? The understanding, the willingness to want to communicate what is inside. You understand? And I can only expect how much we will be seeing from this guy in 2-3 years.
It's a lot.
Especially now, especially when he now refines what is inside of you. Really amazing, really amazing. So we've really gone beyond our time for this episode.
Thank you very much.
We've gone beyond our time, but really, 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 I'm really impressed by your story. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
I appreciate
the Work on Process podcast, and we'll have you on several other episodes. Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing it because people refer back to this episode and say, okay, this guy said this. And see what he has built.
Thank you so much. So I'll see you on the next one. I really had a nice time.
You too.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.